Welcome back to Deep Dive, and I think this is episode number 26. So we're approaching the end now of my detailed tour through my 300 car musical chill out garage tour, which was way back in the summer, I think, so only a couple of garages left. As always, we'll talk a little bit about each vehicle in the garage, any crew colours that we used, etc. And today is the utility, emergency. It's a bit of a catch-all garage for those sort of vehicles, so let's get started. Before we hit the main garage, there's the MOC, and the truck that pulls the trailer is very close to the GMC General with a sleeper cab on the back, so that's great. And of course the main reason for showing it is I absolutely love this livery. I think it was 100k, but it's worth it. Into the main garage now then, and we're starting off with the Boor, or the Subaru Brat, of course. Now I've got a full video on this car and this particular build, which is a close copy of a real world custom one that you see in the photograph. Crew colours here as well. By all means watch that video for more. Spoilers, I really love this. I think it's one of the best cars to come from the Mercenary DLC. Next up, a very special Ford F-150. It's a Harley Davidson edition, and I'm pretty sure this was a subscriber request to build it, and once I did I was really pleased with this sort of unique build. And you know, it was going to stay like this forever, but of course I've now made it Ken blocks, as you will have seen a couple of weeks ago in the Memorial Tour. Tried to reduce my sort of utility vehicles down a bit, but you're always going to keep a Raptor, aren't you? Talking of getting rid of vehicles, I have got rid of this, the Vapor Guardian, which is based really quite closely on the F650 Super Truck. A couple of reasons. Firstly, to my UK sensibilities, this thing is just monstrous and seems to be a massive waste of petrol to me. Now, I'm sure if you're American and you're into your big trucks, you'll say nonsense, but that is my opinion of the vehicle. And I don't really like looking at it. I don't have room. So despite being able to match another real colour on it, which by the way was just on with GTA colours, I can't remember which, it's gone. Well, we have some very expensive police cars in the game now. I haven't bought one yet, but I have a garage space reserved for the Hellcat one, which I really do fancy. But before all this came about, you had to make your own police car up, so I made this fairly simple Crown Vic Police Interceptor Special based on the Stanier, which may be discontinued, but it's free to pick up from the street. It's in crew black, but you could just paint it in classic black as well. Now to me this car is instantly recognisable, and that's despite the fact I've never even seen a real one being British, but of course it's on just about every bit of American television I ever watch. So as mentioned, I've sold the Stanier to make room for the Hellcat police car, but the honour of the first vehicle to be sold the second I'd filmed the garage tour goes to this horrible little thing, the Declasse Lifeguard. I literally bought it as something to fill the 3-car emergency row, and you should never really keep cars that you don't want. That's not even a car, it's just a load of rubbish, so that has gone. Moving now to the Lifeguard vehicle. I got this for free when it came up. I think it was at the prize ride at the car meet, and I always wanted one because I never knew anybody who could spawn me a free one by using their one, and I just refused to pay for it. So it was great when one popped up. And certainly I've used this to spawn one for somebody else, and I'll spawn one for you if you want at a car meet. Anyway, there's absolutely nothing you can do to this apart from wheels. Now I know the photograph I'm showing you is a different vehicle, but it's the one I took inspiration from when it came to selecting the wheels for mine, because I say it's all you can do. Anyway, I think it's quite cool and I like it, and I'm holding on to it. And the last row in this garage is the leisure section. And this first vehicle, the Citroen Mahari. Well, when I was a kid, I used to go to Spain, to Mallorca, all those places on holiday with my parents, and of course they'd always rent a car. And because this was about 1 million years ago, a very popular car to rent there was the Mahari, just like this in its topless version, and they always came in a succession of bright colours. And I just fancied using this particular blue on this one. It's redolent of the cars that were out there, and for me it's just a great memory, and it filled the vacation spot. However, I'm afraid it's gone now because I just couldn't afford to keep some of these vehicles lying around when I needed the space. I'm a bit sad, I just quite like looking at it. Now I've had this Bifta for years, but it's never been in the garage tour because I've never had an appropriate section for it. But I think leisure is that section, so it finally got its day in the sun. It's based on the Myers-Manx dune buggy, but don't spend too long trying to compare to the photo, because I wasn't even trying to copy that photo. It was actually built just the way I fancied building it at the time, many years ago. And you know, this car is enormous fun. I mean, it's discontinued, but it's a really great thing to buzz around in. It cost hardly any money. I've had to get rid of it, but again, it's purely due to space constraints and nothing else. I just love this. The original Volkswagen T1, the camper van, or the Surfer Custom in-game. Now, don't get me wrong, you can just take a cheap non-rusty Surfer, paint it up and get something similar. But there's a few more options with this one. I bought it sort of primarily for the garage tour, to be honest, but I did not want to get rid of it, and I simply painted it differently now and moved it into my classics garage. Now, when I say I love it, that is to look at. It's a reminder of any time I go on holiday in Cornwall, I see these things going off to the surfing destinations. I imagine that if you're American, these things are probably all around California and stuff with hippie types heading away places. That's why I like it. I don't drive it, and if I have to move it from one garage to another, I'd rather just go to that garage, call the mechanic, and get the thing delivered, so I don't have to drive it anywhere at all. And lastly, we have the Journey 2. Now, I won this on the wheel, and I spun the wheel and thought, I hope I don't win this, and then it popped up and I thought, okay, I can use this as part of a vacation collection. But I mean, it's got a rubbish interior. Obviously it's no fun to drive. I wouldn't have had it if it wasn't free, and even though it was free, I've now got rid of it. It's based on a Triple E motorhome, which is easy to find when you look at the various wikis, but a lot of people would prefer to build it as the one from Breaking Bad, because the right stripes are in there. You've only got to paint it cream, and although it's the wrong vehicle, it can give a good impression of the Crystal Palace from Breaking Bad. So that is one thing that you could do with that, and probably quite handy for a TV or movie collection. Well, that completes my run through my utility emergency vacation garage, and there's only two left. We have the facility, which was full of armoured vehicles, and we have my auto shop that was full of classic vehicles, and those will be probably over the next 2 Sundays, but who knows, I like to break it up a bit, so we might drag it out just a little bit longer. If you have any questions on these vehicles, then please don't hesitate to ask down below. I will link to any cars that I've already done a full video on, and I'll link to my roundup of the Mercenary DLC video as well, because it contains a minute or two on quite a few of the vehicles that are here. Now, I freely acknowledge this was not the most exciting collection of vehicles, but I hope still that there has been some inspiration in there somewhere for you to help with your own collections. If you watched this video as soon as it came out, then it's only a few hours to a PC player car meet, and there's more details elsewhere on that in both video form and in the community section. It'd be great to see you there. Otherwise, please remember to like this if you did, dislike it if you didn't, leave a comment and subscribe if you like real cars in GTA. Take care, and thank you so much for watching.